What's up, guys? I just wanted to come on here and just kind of talk and like share some thoughts with like what I see going on kind of in the world. And I know that everybody is in a really weird place. I think that things feel very off, and it's a really stressful time for a lot of people. And I think that now more than ever, I think everybody should kind of just like come together and find some kind of middle ground, because we live in a very uncertain time where we have a very shaky economy. We have like all these like kind of social media like norms that kind of, in my opinion, divide everybody. And it just creates a lot of chaos and just stress. I think everybody's always on edge. I think it affects like, the real world, conversations that we have, the friendships that we've, had for years. And it's just so, I just think that there's so much more to life than picking apart people and just being bitter, stressed out, and just not doing things that, fulfills you, because stress is probably one of the worst things when it comes to your personal health. I think the two main drivers that people should be prioritizing is your mental health and your just like overall diet, which, obviously you want to be sleeping as well. So, a lot of people, they kind of get sucked up into what they see on like social media, or perhaps like, maybe what's going on in their life. And it's really, it's a hard time, I understand that. And I think that first and foremost, you need to take care of your health, because when it comes down to your mental state, there's a lot of factors that drive it, but primarily it's getting really good quality sleep, which basically means that you want to go to sleep at a pretty consistent time. You want to have ideally not a lot of fluids before you go to sleep. Obviously, you want to drink about a gallon of water per day, but you typically want to minimize this before going to sleep so that you obviously don't have to wake up and go to the bathroom, right? And if you get quality sleep, it kind of gives you a really good, clear mind. Whenever you wake up during the day, it replenishes basically like all of your cells, and you just feel so much better. You think much more clear the next day, and it contributes to a better life. And couple that with a diet. I know that there's a lot of people that, they subscribe to different kind of diets. That's completely fine. But I think that if you can maintain a whole foods based diet, which means you have like, your lean meats, you have your greens, obviously a lot of hydration. I think that you should throw in some like, some sunlight for sure, like 15, 20 minutes, maybe every other day. That's really good for your overall just mental state. It's good for your skin. Obviously not excessively, but there's just a lot of benefits when it comes to just getting out in the sun, or just like touching grass, as they say, like get out of your house, apartment, whatever, and just go out into like the real world, kind of experience some nature. It just gives you a mood boost, right? And I also think that meditation is very important. Now, that can mean a lot of different things for different people. So basically, I just like to sit down in silence with my thoughts. I think that so many people have like the need to always have like AirPods in, or they're always listening to like music, or they always need to be like on the phone. And I think that, society has kind of been driven to drive this, dependency on other sources of happiness. But I think that everything should come from within. And I think that if you can kind of just sit with your thoughts and think about what your intentions are, what you want to happen in your life, I think that that's a really good thing. It brings a lot of peace. Obviously, I think that you should definitely be working out at least 3 to 4 times a week. Just like, lift heavy weights, have good form, first and foremost, like don't get hurt, and prioritize your cardio. It's so important to have healthy blood flow. And whenever you do a lot of cardio, it just helps you, maintain just a healthy feeling, right? You feel good, you release endorphins, and that improves your mood throughout the day, which also affects, your relationships, how you deal with people, and how you feel about yourself. So again, I know that, people are struggling, and I do think that things are going to get better. There's just a lot of, just mess. I just see this across like social media, because I do this a lot, and there's just always like arguments that people are having, and it's not worth the dissatisfaction or the like, the negative feelings that it gives a lot of people. And I think that, the world isn't meant to be like this. I think that it's all created by design. I think that the bigger people in the world, not bigger people, but I think the people in power, they live off of this, chaos of having people just so distracted, because I think that there's bigger pictures going on in the background. And I don't want to get into all of that, but I'm just saying this because I think that people get caught up in like the day-to-day noise. And I think the thing about life is you always want to live with intention and live with what resonates the most with you. And I think that human connection is a beautiful thing. And I think that there's always going to be somebody for someone, whether that's a relationship, whether that's with your group. your family, obviously. And I think it's really important to kind of take a step back and just prioritize the things that truly makes you happy, because when you live in that environment and you constantly do things that you love, you just feel a lot more fulfilled. You're less stressed, you're more healthy, and you just have a lot better connections with people, conversations, and it just gives you a better outlook, I guess. And that's all I just kind of wanted to hop in and say. And I know this is a little bit of a different content. I hope you guys like it. I want you to, I guess, drop a comment. Let me know, what kind of content you want me to cover, what kind of topics. I want to kind of take a different direction on this channel, and I just want to help you guys improve, or just help you, maybe deal with hard days, right? Like, I've been through a lot in my life. I've learned a lot of lessons. People would call me like pretty wise, based off of like, the things that I've kind of researched. And I just, at the end of the day, I think that social media is for being social. And I just want to be very interactive with you guys and hopefully contribute to a better and happy day-to-day life. So I hope this content helps you. And again, if you're not already subscribed, smash this like button and share this video with a friend. I will see you all soon.